I'm David Robson, the author of The Expectation Effect, which examines the amazing potential of our mindsets to change our lives. Now, this builds on this new theory in neuroscience that sees the brain as a prediction machine that's constantly preempting the future and then changing our physiological state accordingly. Now, that's really important for the way that we process food. Countless studies have shown that your expectations of the food you're eating, whether you think it's satisfying and nutritious, can change things like your digestion. So it can change the hormonal reaction to foods, and it can also change how quickly your food is digested, whether it stays in the gut for longer, making you feel more satisfied. And that has obvious consequences for your hunger. Now, that's especially important when we consider things like dieting, because unfortunately a lot of diet foods actually create the expectation that you're not really receiving many nutrients. You'll see on all the labels, they'll focus on what the food doesn't contain. So low fat, low sugar, and even the descriptions aren't very sensory or pleasurable. They're normally kind of healthy or kind of sensible rather than tasty and delicious and luxurious. And that changes the way your body digests the food. So it's kind of setting you up for greater hunger later on. One amazing study found that when they gave participants a healthy snack bar, that actually they became more hungry after eating that snack bar than participants who hadn't had any snack at all. So it's really creating this sense of deprivation. Luckily, we can do things to combat those expectation effects. First, I would say if you're on a diet, the most important thing is to actually amplify the pleasure you get from food. Pleasure and indulgence actually becomes more important if you're trying to lose weight. So I would recommend that you make sure you only eat the foods that are really intense with umami flavors. So if I'm on a diet, I would try to add ingredients like sardines to recipes just to try to give them a bit more intensity and make them feel a bit more satisfying. I'd also say that you should try to create a sense of anticipation when you're eating. So psychological studies have shown that, quite ironically, that when people are having a snack like a chocolate cake, that actually if beforehand they imagine the pleasure they're going to get from that chocolate cake, that they actually end up choosing a smaller portion because they recalibrated the prediction machine so it realizes it can get all the satisfaction it needs from that food with a smaller quantity. Now, the last thing that you want to do when you're dieting is to create a feeling of guilt if you do trip up and overindulge. Studies have shown that actually feelings of guilt can be really counterproductive, and people who feel guilty are actually less likely to then continue with their diet and to lose weight. So all of this really tells us that a sense of pleasure is a really important ingredient within our diets. And that can improve our physical and mental health if we learn to enjoy food, even when we're trying to lose weight.